This is the Li-Ning Feidian Ultra 5, and it might just be the best road racing shoe that most people have never heard of. So today I'm going to share what makes this shoe so special and why I'll most likely race in it at my big target race, the Berlin Half Marathon. So let's get into it. Hello, I'm Jim and you're watching Race Day, where I give you my take on the running gear I'm using as a 50-year-old runner who's still chasing personal bests. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Chinese running shoes. Sometimes I buy them because of the price, sometimes out of curiosity, but for the Feidian Ultra 5, it's all about speed. Last month I set a new personal best in the half marathon of 75 minutes 44 seconds, and I immediately set my sights on going under 75 minutes in the spring, knowing that the fitness that I'm enjoying now isn't going to last forever. I'm looking at every advantage I can give myself going into this race, and that's where the Feidian Ultra 5 comes in. I've heard good things about this shoe in the running shoe geek kind of space, and I wanted to give the shoe a try myself. So what were my first impressions? When I first put it on, I expected something extreme. It's technically banned at elite level because of the plate construction, not because of the stack height, and I assumed that would mean a wild ride. It doesn't. It feels refined. In my usual UK size 9, the fit is race dialed, slightly long, slightly narrow, but very secure. The upper is incredibly light. That boom fiber material is thin but structured. There's barely any padding in the heel, yet the lockdown is excellent. No slop, no movement. It feels like a proper race shoe should feel. Minimal, focused and fast. Now let's talk stats. The Feidian Ultra 5 is roughly 39mm in the heel, down to 34 in the forefoot, so just a 5mm drop. It comes in at around 200 grams in my size, so it's far from being the lightest shoe, but for a shoe with this much foam underfoot, it is impressive. The midsole is Li-Ning's Super Boom PEBA based foam, and it isn't soft and marshmallow-like, it's firmer, more controlled and more deliberate. Inside that foam is a carbon plate, split and shaped in multiple planes, and that's what makes it non-compliant for World Athletics elites. But for the rest of us, it just makes it interesting. So what about the ride? The first few strides feel smooth, not explosive, not trampoline-like, smooth. Then when you start to load it properly at marathon pace and quicker, it really comes to life. The best way I can describe it is that it doesn't flick you forward, it kind of rolls you forward. There's a beautiful sense of compression, then a clean, controlled rebound. It's not chaotic like the early Alphafly models. It's not overtly aggressive like some stiffer plated shoes. It feels engineered. The timing of the rebound is what stands out. As a lighter runner, I'm about 136 pounds, I sometimes struggle to fully engage softer foams. This engages perfectly. When I hit half marathon pace, it felt locked in. When I push close 10k effort, it responded. It's fast, but it's composed. So what about stability? Now this is where the Feidian Ultra 5 genuinely impressed me. On paper it doesn't look stable. Narrow waist, tall stack, exposed foam, holes. But because the foam is firmer and the plate is so prominent through the midsole, there's very little wobble. It's not a stability shoe, but for a super shoe, it's one of the most controlled rides I've tested. Even cornering at pace, it felt secure. For my half marathon, I think that matters. Now, here's the interesting part. Some super shoes feel amazing at 5k or 10k, but they start to beat you up when you get past 90 minutes. This shoe felt like it was built for longer races. The foam doesn't bottom out, the rebound stays consistent, and my calves didn't feel shredded afterwards. It has that leg-saving quality that you want for a marathon, and I genuinely think that this would be an excellent marathon race option. And doing a 20-mile training run yesterday, I got to those last few miles and was still able to push the pace to under 6-minute miles. To me, that speaks to a shoe that is protecting my legs and locking me into a good rhythm. Now we need to talk about the elephant in the room. I said at the start that sometimes I buy Chinese shoes for price, and I think that there can be an expectation that all Chinese shoes are very affordable. But if you're buying the Feidian Ultra 5 at full international retail, it's expensive. It's too expensive. But for me, this was a shoe that I was buying for performance. And if it costs the same as an Alphafly but performs better, then I'm happy to take the hit. I know that won't be the case for everybody. So where does it fit in my shoe rotation? This isn't a gimmick shoe. It feels like Li-Ning have decided to engineer something serious and didn't really worry whether Western runners would notice. For me, it's a top-of-the-line road racing shoe and a trainer that I'll reserve for target races and a few essential long hard sessions as I prepare for them. Will I wear it for Berlin Half Marathon next month? Yes. It's efficient, it's protective, it's fast, and most importantly, it feels repeatable. Not wild, not risky, reliably fast. The Feidian Ultra 5 might not be the most hyped shoe of the year, but it could be one of the most complete racing shoes available to runners in 2026. If you want to see how it works out for me, over 13.1 miles in Berlin in a few weeks' time, hit subscribe. You've been watching Race Day. Now I'm curious, have you tried any of Li-Ning's race shoes? Is this a brand you've considered for a marathon? Let me know in the comments.